Well, we're going to talk more about Caitlin Clark's absence and the impact this is felt. That's being felt around the league, most and even in Indiana. It's going to be a big impact.
When one player is hauling the whole WNBA up a fifth-story walk-up like a broken refrigerator, things get heated. In a sense, Caitlin Clark has taken over the league. She serves as the story twist, the protagonist, and the sole explanation for why half of the nation is aware that the WNBA still exists. The ratings for television. To put it simply, if ESPN could give a human a physical embrace, it would be clinging to Caitlin like a koala drinking espresso.
I'm interested in is what somebody tweeted me and asked about earlier today that I want to show you right now. Put this tweet up, please, so our audience can see it here. At 4th Gen Bucci, B-U-C-C-I. Right, Stephen A. Smith. Can the WNBA keep itself afloat while CC, as in Caitlin Clark, is out? End quote.
We're talking about execs exploding champagne TV numbers, smashing records, and raising eyebrows. The WNBA likely believed that this type of audience had vanished. People who haven't watched a women's basketball game since Lisa Leslie's slam are now watching like they're at the NBA Finals. Given how frequently they flick to watch Caitlin, you could hear remote controllers all around the country suffering from arthritis. However, the WNBA is now treating her in the locker room as if she were just another jersey. The WNBA executives are over here attempting to exchange Caitlin's presence for expiring tokens for Chuck E. Cheese. The WNBA didn't even extend a warm welcome, let's face it. Make-do flights and economy, a schedule that makes coal miners wheeze and treatment that's one cardigan short of elderly neglect, they remarked, spreading out a yoga mat. Caitlin Clark is doing more than just exceeding expectations. As she does it, players acting like it's WWE are shoulder-checking her, and envious teammates are side-eyeing her. Imagine what the league does to everyone else if this is how it handles its one revenue source. And she's hurt now. Oh, how abruptly deafening the stillness seems.
With you guys today, the ratings are out. Indiana Fever versus the New York Liberty, Caitlin Clark's most recent game on cable TV. And on top of that, the WNBA, desperate to sell tickets to tonight's...
You guys could almost hear the WNBA offices going into panic. Everyone is running about like they just dropped a baby in a swimming pool after one damaged ankle. The league loses more than just her highlights. It also misses her significance. It's back to gyms reverberating like church halls with attendance, so low you could hear the players' thoughts without Caitlin. It wasn't simply about the play, don't get me wrong. It was all about the excitement, the buzz, and the drama. The WNBA is once again attempting to sell water in a storm without her.
Nor am I going to take my eyes off of what transpires with the WNBA over the next 2 weeks while Caitlin Clark is out with the quad strain. And the reason why is because, let me tell you something right now. I'm not going to go to word hate. I'm not going to be out there like RG3 was saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark or other players hate Caitlin Clark. But I will say this. I don't think it's specific about Caitlin Clark. I think it's what Caitlin Clark represents. See, it's through no fault of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark balls. She balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing. Ended up as an all-star, ended up being 4th in the league in MVP voting, was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year. No competition whatsoever in that regard when it was really all said and done. We know what she brings to the table.
Well, Caitlin Clark has just been ruled out for the next 2 weeks, and ticket sales are already down 75%. So if you didn't know, Caitlin Clark injured her hamstring and is out for the next 2 weeks, including 2 road games. One of those games being against the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese, where they have a very heated rivalry. Just 2 days ago, the cheapest ticket to get into the Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever game was $86, and now it's down to $25. This is also against the same person who said the reason people come to watch the WNBA is because of her talking about Angel Reese, but she cannot even keep the ticket prices up. The teams that Caitlin Clark was supposed to play against over these next 2 weeks also already rented out a bigger stadium because of how many people they were expecting to have show up to see Caitlin Clark play. And because the WNBA is only about 40 games, she is missing a huge chunk of time with being out 2 weeks in June.
Social media is in full morning gear at the moment. The comments appear to be memorials. People are upset because they knew this would happen, in addition to being sad. Playing back-to-back games as a punishment, running a player into the ground, and then acting shocked when she falls are all examples of this. While everyone else folds their arms and acts as though she's just fortunate to be there, Caitlyn has been treated like a one-woman circus show, expected to work miracles. The only fortunate thing about Caitlyn Clark, spoiler warning, is that she hasn't worn the rim off the backboard entirely due to excessive use. The real roasting starts when we discuss the data. This season, Caitlyn's performances have been laughably better than those of every other encounter. The crowd is louder, the lights are brighter, the sponsors are happier, and the popcorn is 30% saltier when she performs. The drop-off is so dramatic, almost like a cliff dive when she doesn't. Without Caitlyn, television ratings resemble a malfunctioning EKG. Lifeless, flat, and rather humiliating. Fans themselves acknowledge it. No-click Caitlyn. That goes beyond influence. Domination is what that is. What does the WNBA do in exchange, then? She is thrown to the wolves. By wolves, we mean defenders who possess the tact and elegance of a demolition crew under the influence of coffee. With a neon banner that screams, "Please foul me," repeatedly, and a target on her back, Caitlyn Clark, the league's greatest attraction in years, is thrown into the lion's den. As though overplaying a rookie in the most physically demanding league possible is somehow a development tactic, her minutes have been stretched thinner than cheap spandex. It's adorable to have protection on the court. In effect, the referees are giving out coupons for a single, free harsh foul. Now that she's injured, the league is frantically looking about for the next big story, adopting the traditional shrug and pivot. There isn't spoiler warning. Because the velocity that had been rising like a goods train abruptly crashed into a concrete wall the instant Caitlyn hit the ground, clutching her injury. All of the excitement, enthusiasm, and buzz about the ratings vanished in a split second. Without safeguarding the investment, the WNBA took a chance on her star power. They are now learning the hard way. You don't break your best player to create a league.
Oh boy, WNBA fans, y'all are screwed. Look at that. Caitlyn Clark is out 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Do you know how bad the WNBA ratings are going to be for the next 2 weeks? Nobody watches the WNBA at all if it's not for Caitlyn Clark in the first place. Now that she is hurt, who in the world is going to watch these games? Who in the world is going to watch a WNBA game without the biggest star the sport has seen ever? Like, this is going to be hilarious the next couple of weeks when these ABC stations, TNT, ESPN, see how bad the ratings are when Caitlyn Clark isn't playing. And then all the players are going to see, oh wow, we actually need Caitlyn Clark to play in these games for us to try to make money.
Speaking about the Indiana Fever, you would be very incorrect if you believed that they didn't notice Caitlyn's absence right away. Their most recent matchup with the Washington Mystics was an agonizing display akin to witnessing a chicken attempt to pilot a jet ski. Bewildered, disorganized, and far from taking home any honors. You could practically taste the despair that pervaded the air as the Fever plummeted in 1-8-3-7-7. It appeared as though the players were waiting for Caitlyn to make a miraculous save and emerge from a Gatorade cooler. No such luck, spoiler warning. Without Caitlyn, the Fever would be like a pizza without cheese. Technically, it's still pizza, but it's also rather disappointing. Even with fiber optics, the offense moved more slowly than dial-up internet. More absent than a dad from a comedy who fails to show up is the defense. They missed the dots as if they were allergic to the basket. It had a completely strange beat. The spacing was terrible. And the energy. Imagine attempting to run a roller coaster on only one AA battery. Just not going to suffice. It serves as a sobering reminder that a single player may occasionally make or ruin the entire squad.
Caitlyn Clark effect is real. Caitlyn Clark effect is alive and well, but unfortunately for the WNBA, she's now out for a minimum of 2 weeks before she gets reevaluated. So they might not see numbers like this for quite some time. this next Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky game, June 7th, I believe, that's going to be on CBS as well. You think that's going to draw 2.7? I can assure you it won't. You think that's going to draw over 2 million? I can assure you that won't.
Of course, everyone put their best effort forward. Let's be honest, though. There was a Caitlyn-sized gap in this game that could not be filled by any amount of hard work or perseverance. It takes more than simply hard work to replace that type of presence. The opposition was forced to continually adapt and scramble because no one on the field attracted defenders like her. When everything appeared hopeless, nobody produced those pivotal moments that changed the course. Most significantly, nobody sparked the intangible spark that keeps a team motivated far into the fourth quarter. Perhaps we can pull this off feeling. Rather, the group appeared to be operating on empty, frantically attempting to fill the Caitlyn-shaped hole with the group "we got this." That seemed less like a war scream and more like a begging whisper. The group's performance virtually shouted, "Please come back," loudly than a romantic comedy acts outside your window while brandishing a boombox. Hopeful, desperate, and painfully apparent. The Mystics, meantime, came out smelling of blood and not only prevailed, they feasted. It was like seeing a school of piranhas stumble onto a single, defenseless fish while observing them. Even without Caitlyn, this Fever squad.
We need her to play for us to get views, so maybe we should stop hurting her. Oh, maybe they'll finally see that they need Caitlyn Clark. I mean, I can't believe we even have to discuss this, that she's even, I mean, if you don't think she's the biggest star in the sport, you're delusional. This girl carries not only her team, but her sport and her league. She carries the league, and you're going to find out.
They detected vulnerability and mercilessly took advantage of it. They relentlessly accelerated the tempo, targeted any mismatch, and essentially handled the Fever like a practice squad, doing exercises and mentally increasing the score. Although the scoreboard displayed a respectable 83-75, it hardly conveyed the whole picture. The actual game was more of a demolition job with a tight score. The Mystics moved as if they had witnessed every play before it even took place, always one step ahead. The Fever appeared to be pupils frantically attempting to catch up on a pop quiz with the answers already shown on the board. It was terribly obvious. This Fever team was completed without Caitlyn. They are devoid of her creative energy, protective compass, and motivating heart. And even though they fought fiercely, the Mystics' hunger served as a harsh reminder that, despite your best efforts, sometimes a missing component may convert a war into a surrender.